Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the September 2nd, 2008 Board of Selectmen Sewer Commissioner meeting. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, all 5 selectmen are present, as well as the interim town administrator, Mrs. Sanjanet.
Okay, the first thing that I have on the agenda tonight is open meeting violation admission. This board violated the open meeting law when we did not fulfill a records request to Mr. Dekas. Actually, the request was many months old, and we didn't fulfill the request of executive meeting minutes at the time. There was a long timeline. Of course, the request was back from February. We have had some reductions in staff. We did have a change in the administrator. And at that change, some of the minutes that we were going to release were lost for about a month, and we did find them, and they have been released. So we were able to fulfill that request. I believe there are additional meeting minutes from 5 years ago that were part of the request that the parties that would be involved in those meeting minutes have been contacted, and we're hoping to get those meeting minutes. I will say that it's an unfortunate situation that we certainly don't want to recur, and it took far too long to just release some meeting minutes that we had for or that we had a bulk of for quite a time. And the public doesn't need excuses, they just need the explanation. So we could hope that we'll be always able to fulfill those requests in a timely manner. And I would say that in light of seeing from when I first came on the board to now, I think the staff reductions have hurt in the sense that with a part-time board, it is difficult to, it's not as though the selectmen stand behind the counter and hand out the meeting minutes. So it is a little difficult, but ultimately we are responsible for those meeting minutes. So I apologize, and probably for the entire board. And again, we don't look to do that again. We can only look forward to fulfilling all the requests in a timely manner. So we hope that you can forgive us for the late submission, but we did submit those, and that was on the Swift Speech matter. So yes.
If I might, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to apologize to my board members for the minutes that I was responsible for. I was the clerk for 2 sets of those minutes. I don't have any excuses. I just was remiss in getting them typed up and printed. They're all drafted. They're all ready for the board to review, and the drafts have been turned over already to Mr. Dekas, who I also apologize to. I was remiss in my responsibility, and I apologize.
No need.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on, citizens' participation. Is there anyone? Yes, Mr. D. Felice.
Frank D. Felice.
Yeah, please come up, and we have to use the mic so that the audience can hear at home.
I had put in a request on Friday about a project that I'm working on in Rose Point, Elizabeth Street, that I am asking the selectmen if they could tell me, as far as I know, up until this day, it was a private road, but now there's kind of, the board is, I guess, don't know if it's a private road or a public road, and they don't know, I guess, apparently, if all the roads at Rose Point were accepted at the 2007 May town meeting. I would like to know if my request is going to be answered tonight, if Elizabeth Street is a private road, and if it's not, I'd like to know when I could get an answer.
Could I just ask, in your question, you said they don't know. Who's they?
Town administrator,
Well, if I may,
Brenda.
yeah, if I may, I met Mr. DeFelice down there Friday, and there is a concern with the roads down there. The rest of the board has only received your inquiry. They don't know
Right.
any of the background because we haven't met since Friday, so I haven't updated them on it. And as I told you, I'm bringing it up this evening. We can bring it up now. The issue is if you recall, we had asked town meeting to accept the roads in Rose Point that had been sewered so that municipal maintenance could apply for federal stormwater remediation monies. And it went through at town meeting. We had a resident get up, who I believe at the time he was the president of the Rose Point Association, and he amended that. In the amendment, it said to accept all the roads in Rose Point on this plan, and this plan. Not necessarily the CDM plans, it was the subdivision plans. And so my concern was, by doing this, and town meeting approving it, what they may have done is may have accepted all the roads in Rose Point. And I don't know if any of you have been down to Rose Point, but I've driven down there quite a bit, talking to Frank and the other parties involved, and you'll be going down one street and there'll be a street sign and you take a right and you are literally like in people's backyards. The swing set's there and you're going around the bikes because it's no one's used it as a street and it's just kind of morphed into their properties. So there could be a problem with that. I've talked to municipal maintenance. I know that Mr. Sanjanet went out there with municipal maintenance, I think, to look at these ones. I don't know if you've looked at all of them. But, and I think it's something that we have to find out exactly. We have to get copies of those plans and find out exactly what roads they are, and it may have to be brought back up for reconsideration at this fall town meeting.
Mr.
Because
Chairman,
of that
could I
amendment.
ask a question through you to Mrs. Ekstrom or whoever can answer? What is why is this an issue, whether it's public or private? What is the relevance of whether it is a public or private road?
Well, Mr. DeFelice owns a parcel of land that is on Elizabeth Street. Now, Elizabeth Street is a paper street. It is trees and wetlands and bushes and all of that stuff. And he's trying to get to his property. And he's been out there, I guess, last week.
Well, yeah, I've been to the planning board, conservation, DEP. I've been approved by everybody.
So what's
Well,
the
you have-
issue?
Well, I'm getting a stop work order by the town, by Mr. Sanuet, saying that it's now a public road, and it's got trees on it and everything. I can't understand how it can be a public road.
Excuse me, in the letter that's being sent to you, it does not say it's a public road. We're trying to determine if it is a public way or not. You have proceeded to cut down numerous trees along that way, and my concern is that it could be public property that you're taking trees down on.
I own both sides.
So,
I own both sides of the road.
No.
When it comes to my property, I do.
But you have to
I
get to
guess-
your property. You're going 50 or 100 feet past another person's property. So you don't own both sides until you
All
get
right,
to your
till I
property.
get to my property. I'm glad you know so much.
And if I just may also say...
Don't be
this-
rude, please. Just answer
a
Excuse me,
question. I'm
but
sorry, it's just
the trees that you cut down were not at your line of the property.
No, they were on the road. They were on the road. The trees were on the road. The only thing the thing I don't understand is, I've been through the planning board, been through the conservation. It was appealed to the DEP. The DEP came out. They gave me extending order,
Superseding orders.
Superseding order. I just started doing the work now. I put the hay bales out. I had conservation out twice. I cut the track in, cut some trees down, cut the bushes down, and now they're trying to tell me that it's a public. I just don't understand.
You have Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, if I may ask a question. So you have a DEP sign out there?
Yes.
With an assigned DEP number?
Yes.
With an order of superseding conditions?
Yes.
That allows you access to the to
Do what I'm doing.
do what you're doing?
Yes.
Do you pay taxes on this paper road?
Well, I pay taxes on my